Hello, aspiring drone pilots. Are you gearing up for an interview and want to leave a sky-high impression? You're in the right place. Today, we're diving into some key questions you might face in your drone pilot interview, starting with how you work in a team setting. Let's get started. Can you share an experience where you were part of a team for a drone operation? Interviewers ask this to understand how well you collaborate with others, especially in a team setting during drone operations. Here are a few pointers to help you craft your answer. Think of a specific project that needed teamwork. Explain your role and what you contributed. Talk about how you communicated and worked together with the team. Mention the success of the operation and what came out of it. Reflect on what you learned from working as a team. Now, let's look at an example. Answer to bring these tips to life.
In a recent project, I was part of a team tasked with surveying a construction site using drones. My role was to operate the drone and ensure we captured high-quality images. We had daily meetings to discuss progress and align our efforts, which led to a successful surveillance report and improved site planning. Through this experience, I learned the critical role that clear communication plays in reaching our objectives.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Drone Pilot. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell me about a tough situation you encountered during a drone flight and how you managed it. This question is designed to see how you handle challenges and solve problems under pressure. Let's go over some strategies to help you frame your response. Choose an incident that highlights your problem-solving skills. Describe the issue, focusing on any technical or environmental challenges. Explain how you resolved the problem and your thought process. Share the outcome and what you learned from the experience. Keep your answer concise and relevant to drone piloting. Here's an example answer to illustrate how you might respond.
During a mapping flight, I faced unexpected high winds that threatened to push the drone off course. I promptly adjusted the flight altitude and switched to manual control mode for better handling. Once the wind conditions improved, I completed the mapping. This taught me the importance of checking weather updates before flights.
Can you give an example of how you explain a technical issue to someone who isn't technically trained? This question gauges your ability to communicate complex information in an understandable way to non-technical team members. Here's how you can effectively prepare your response. Identify the technical issue clearly, but in simple terms. Use analogies or comparisons to relate to everyday experiences. Focus on the impact of the issue instead of technical jargon. Encourage questions and offer clarifications. Conclude with how the issue was resolved or steps taken. Let's take a look at an example of how you might address this.
In my previous role, I had to explain a drone's battery malfunction to a marketing team member. I compared it to a phone battery losing charge rapidly, impacting our aerial shot schedule. I assured them we were replacing the battery before the shoot.
What steps would you take if your drone loses signal during a critical flight? Employers want to know how you handle emergency situations to ensure safety and minimize risks. To navigate this question, consider these steps. Immediately switch to Return to Home, RTH mode, if it's available. Assess the drone's last known location using the app or controller. Check for any potential obstacles in the drone's return path. Maintain visual line of sight and be ready for manual control if needed. Be prepared to communicate with ground support or stakeholders about the situation. Here's an example of how you could respond to this challenge.
If my drone loses signal, I would quickly engage the RTH mode to bring it back. Then, I'd check the last known coordinates to ensure a safe return while keeping an eye out for obstacles. I would stay ready to take manual control if necessary and update any relevant parties about the situation.
How would you assess environmental conditions before planning a drone flight? This question aims to see how well you conduct risk assessments to ensure safe and efficient drone operations. Consider these points when preparing your answer. Check local weather forecasts for wind speed and precipitation. Assess visibility and potential obstacles in the flight path. Review airspace regulations and any area restrictions. Consider local wildlife and sensitive environments. Plan for safe takeoff and landing zones free from interference. Now, let's see how you might put this all into words.
I would start by checking the weather forecast for wind speed and rain, since strong winds can affect stability. I would also look for obstacles, ensuring visibility is adequate.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free, just grab it below.